If that isn't cool, I don't know what is. Oh, hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today is a super special day because we have this little baby. We have a fighter jet in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So I didn't think this was going to happen as soon as it did, and it came out yesterday. So I've been messing around with it today, and I wanted to let you know how freaking awesome it really is. So, as everyone knows, Microsoft Flight Simulator has been pretty commercially driven in terms of the types of aircraft you get to fly. You get to fly small planes all the way up to 747s, you know, which is a lot of fun. I've got to say, I've learned a lot. But this is taking me back to my DCS days, and it's been just awesome. I can't really put it any other way. I mean, it is a beautiful plane. I mean, to start with, look at this. It's just lovely. Look at that. I mean, if you get the chance, download it, have a bit of fun. It's totally different to what you would normally fly, as you would suspect. It's also really, really loud. So, yeah, that's something to watch out for. But, so, with all the other aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator, I've been flying... In fact, let's go back inside. Let's quickly go back inside and let's go. There we go. Oh. Ha. Okay. Oh, that's actually inside my face. Interesting. So it doesn't normally do that, but it's clearly going inside my head. Anyway, so what can I say about this plane? To start with, let's hit you with a bit of history. It's pretty old, as you can tell. It's got a lot of dials. There's not much digitalization going on. Oh, there's my legs. There's my hand. This is what I normally wear. It's, in general, slightly lower fidelity than you would expect some of the other planes. It also, the amount of times I've played it now, about 3 or 4 times, it's popped up with some higher fidelity bits and some lower fidelity bits, so I'm not entirely sure. Aha! There we go. So that's the exact bug that I was talking about. Bit strange, but I don't really mind. I mean, it's such a beautiful thing. So yeah, a bit of history about this. It's old. It's vintage. It is 1979 when it was officially released and pushed into service. It's Italian, obviously. It is the Aermacchi. You know I'm terrible at reading. Aermacchi MB-339, and it's a military jet trainer. So it is a military trainer now, but it has had some combat applications. So this is why I'm flying around these islands now, because where I am is the Falklands, and this is one of the only times it has been used in active combat. And of course, this was used during the Falklands War. Even though it's an Italian aircraft, it was bought by the Argentinians. So they had quite a few of them, of which 8 of them turned up to Argentina to fight the British over sovereignty of who owned the island. And it was a pretty bloody affair, but this aircraft was used in quite a few different combat sorties. And there were, I think, 3 of them or 2 of them lost in the Falklands War from the Argentinian side. Obviously, we had Harrier jump jets. One was shot down by a ground-to-air missile. I believe so, from a boat. Not sure. And another one crash landed on its way down to Port Stanley, which I think is over there in high ground. So it possibly crashed right ahead. So yeah, some interesting stuff, but I have to say it's lovely to fly in a plane that's a bit more vintage. Anyway, so it was used in the Argentinian War, to quite good effect. It did cause quite a lot of damage to the British Army and the Navy. And then it was used after that in the Eritrean Ethiopian War in 1982. So by that point, it was 3 years old or so. And again, used to great effect. And that is the only 2 recorded combat applications of this plane. And now it's used by quite a few air forces around the world, mainly by the Italians as a trainer. Just like we have trainers over here that are slightly older aircraft, this is also pretty old, and instrument flying, relatively non-digitized. But what can I say, it's a nice plane. So the next thing I'm going to do is, even though the Falklands is great, you know, it's a long way away, I'm going to go to the Grand Canyon and I'm going to try and push it all the way to its limits and see what it's like in really tight, fast turning conditions. So I'll see you there. So we're just about to head down to the Grand Canyon, but I just wanted to run through some of these liveries because, once again, they're awesome. I mean, look at this. I was actually thinking about making my own livery, but now I don't need to because we've got the camouflage, and because we're going to be in the desert, we're going desert. All right. So I'll just let you know where the Grand Canyon is. Pretty easy to find. Go to the US of A, straight down to this area here, and it's there. Pretty easy. So we're going to start about, let's start about here. Cool. Okay, welcome back. So here we are, looking beautiful. I like the fact that it's looking a bit rusty and old. It gives me that nice vintage feel. So let's just go quickly through what I have to. Free range of motion, very nice. What we have to look at here is it's a little bit different to what we are normally looking at with some of these more digitized aircraft like the Dahar and the Textron Aviations and the Citation jets, and you know, all the way up to the 747s and the Dreamliners. I mean, those are all computer based, and this really isn't. I mean, 1979 computers were like the size of your shed, so they're not going to get a whole lot in here. So this is much more fly by wire, and I'm just going to show you what I know to start with. So clearly you're heading in your artificial horizon. Here's your speedo, and it's not digitized, so it's really hard to know how fast you're going unless you're really used to looking at these 2 variables. It's obviously in knots as well. Your heading, you know, basic stuff, your rate of climb, your altitude, which is going to keep going up. Again, it's difficult to read if you're not used to it, just like I'm not. Let's just reduce this power. Your RPM, so this is useful to see if you're really going up like that. If your temperature's overheating, you don't want it to overheat too much. And that's pretty much all I know so far. Obviously your gear, obviously I don't know where the parking brake is, so yeah, I never know where the parking brake is, so I'm going to do that with a key command. Your flaps are here, your throttle and all of that stuff, and that, oh, there's the parking brake. Found it. Nice. Early on. Good news. And in general, that's all you need initially to start flying this. There's a heads-up display here, a HUD, which I'm not sure how to work yet because I haven't been able to turn it on. But I'm sure I'll find out. Some of the earlier versions didn't have this HUD, so possibly it's in the other one. So let's just get going. I'm going to do a little quick takeoff. I don't really know what speed it rotates at, but we're going to find out. And let's get going. Right. So, engine all the way up. Watch that temperature. Parking brake off. And let's see how it goes. So I'm not using my Yoke today because this is absolutely a joystick aircraft because it is so sensitive when you're flying it. Oh. As you can see. And let's take off. Let's rotate. There we go. Gear and wheels up. Let's have a look. Look at that desert. Gear up. Flaps good. Let's get back on it. Right, so in general, it's pretty easy to fly, but it's going to be very, very sensitive in comparison to those other planes, which is part of the enjoyment, obviously. If that isn't cool, I don't know what is. So actually, you know what? We're going to head back here, because that's where it's going to get crazy. Right, I'll see you over there. All right, we're coming in. Oh. Mirror flashing at me there. Okay, so this gets crazy pretty fast. I'm just going to throttle it back just a little because it will get difficult. So you can see that first turn to the right is super steep. Okay, wish me luck. I doubt I'm going to make this, but let's give it a go. Okay, coming in. Missed the bridge. Down low. Speed up around the corner. Slow it. This is the corner I didn't make before. Oh, nice. So I floated into that cliff before on the right, but that's with the yoke. So like I said, definitely this is a joystick affair. I'm using the X52 Poitus Professional, which I have to say is amazing. Found on eBay for not much. There's a lot of people that have these. Right, let's get that speed up. I don't know how far I'm going to make it. Here we go. Going to thread the needle. Whew. Okay, I think we've probably heard enough of me now. So let's do a montage. Alrighty, thanks for dropping by.